Hey everyone, it is July 5th, 2024, and let's start with the picks from Wednesday. So we can first start out with BIDU. As we went over on July 2nd to July 3rd, it gapped up, and it continued its strength on July 3rd. My mental stop loss was above this was on the about the open of this candle on July 20th, and I would take a loss at that price level. But today, while the market was showing pretty strong, uptrend, a little choppy, but overall a pretty strong uptrend. It's still light volume, but with overall light uptrend, this stock has been going nowhere. It gapped down today, and it was followed by kind of overlapping mixed candles, but with a downtrend. Broke through VWAP, tested VWAP, and got rejected a couple of times, but then now it broke through it, and now it's kind of basically on VWAP. For BIDU, I exited at 88.07, and I made my average entry price was 88.30, and I exited at 88.07. So my return on each share is about 23 cents, which isn't horrible, but I definitely could hold the stock longer. But with the market making all-time highs, basically every day since last Wednesday, or every day since Wednesday, I don't want to be holding shorts really in general as a swing basis, and I don't want to be holding at least not too many shorts. So I decided to exit BIDU for a small profit. The next stock I want to go over from last week or from Wednesday was Sweet Greens SG. As I already mentioned, the market today has been up. Sweet Greens had a pretty strong downtrend all day. I exited Sweet Green at 10:43 a.m. at 28.01. So 10:43. So like around here. I could have held it a little longer, but I decided that a 10:43 SPY was still kind of treading up, and I decided that it would probably be a good idea to take profits on this just because it was a short and it was going against what the market was doing today. So I decided not to kind of test my luck in a way. So I decided to take gains on this, and I made so my average entry price was 28.11, and my average exit price was 28 flat, basically 28.01. So I made like 10 cents per share, which isn't that great. I think that's something I've realized I need to work on just through journaling and through documenting. Is I need to be more patient with my trades and more just giving them more time to run instead of like taking gains at the first sign of trouble, because I've noticed I do that a lot. I kind of get scared out of game plans and all that. So I'm going to really try to work on making solid game plans and just sticking to it no matter what, either until it hits my stop or until it hits my profit target. But I know also it's like you always have to consider what the market's doing and always have that into like your background, and that can change your profit targets and all that. So I know it's not as black and white as having a hard stop and a hard profit target, but I definitely need to work on letting my trades run longer. The next pick I mentioned last Wednesday was CVS as a short. It gapped down today. It definitely has relative weakness on the M5 and the D1. I mean, the market's just been, as mentioned, just making new all-time highs since last Wednesday. And CVS has been, since breaking through the AVWAP-E level, it's just been in a pretty strong downtrend. Today, it's still down when the market's up, and it had pretty early strong selling. So definitely could have taken profits around here, or even I would still consider holding this stock just because it's weaker than the market, and it's basically right below a resistance level of AVWAP-E. So I still see this as a pretty good short. We'll go over my picks later, but this is definitely a pick that I definitely considered as a short pick. Microsoft with my other pick. I didn't take CVS or Microsoft. They were just more like kind of picks that looked good to me, but I didn't want to be oversized and like having too many positions on. So I ended up not taking these. Microsoft continues to perform really well. It's super strong early on in the day, and it's just been a constant grind higher. But just to pass, I mean, this is one of the stronger stocks I've noticed that continues to be strong as the market's gaining strength back. So yeah, Microsoft is a good pick. I like this. And I mean, I guess I can just say my picks now, just kind of, because Microsoft is actually one of my picks for today. It's the bullish pick. As I mentioned, super strong. This is probably one of the strongest stocks I've noticed on the D1. It's just constantly making new all-time highs basically every day. It has some overlap in the candles, so there are sellers present, but especially these last 4 days has been just crazy strong. And I would definitely consider possibly waiting for a small pullback, but if the market continues higher, then Microsoft is going to also continue higher. So Microsoft is my bullish pick of the day. And for my bearish pick today, it is Starbucks. So Starbucks is pretty similar to CVS. It's below AVWAP-E. Broke through it on July 1st, and it continued its selling strength since July 1st, and doesn't have earnings for about a month, and it just continued weakness. Today, I like Starbucks more than CVS just because today I feel like it has more weakness. I feel like it's just to me showing more relative weakness than CVS, but both are pretty good picks. It still has a ways to go until it gets to the low of May 7th, May 8th, around like 72.20, 72.25, around there. So it still has a ways to go, and I still think this is a pretty good pick for day trading, but also I think for like more of a longer term position if you're in my situation where you are under PDT and you only have 3 day trades every 5 trading. You only have 3 day trades every 5 trading days. You need to pick the best D1 charts. So Starbucks is definitely one of them, in my opinion. So those are the picks. Now we can go over 2 stocks that I day traded today. So I day traded Meta. So Meta is today has been probably one of the stronger stocks. All the giant tech stocks have been really, really strong today. So Meta is no exception. Just you can see the high volume with these key bars and pretty strong uptrend with minimal retracement. So for Meta, I got in at 10:53 a.m. at 527.66. So 10:53. So around here, after this key bar, I got in. This was a day trade, so I wasn't going to swing this trade. I got in at 527.66, and then sold at 11 o'clock. Oh no, sold at 11:11 at 529.73. So 11:11. So on this candle, I sold at 529.73. I definitely could have held it a little longer, but it was a decent exit. It was approaching its it was approaching the high of the April 8th candle, and I kind of just felt more. This April 8th candle, the high was 531.49, and so it was about. It was a little. It was a little more than a. Yeah, a little more than $1 away. So I definitely could have held it until we got a little closer. But again, this is one of the instances I kind of exited a little early than I should have. But I still made a decent profit. I made, let's see. So I just traded one share for the day trade, and I made $2.07. So a decent day trade. I like the strength, and kind of just continued with that. As you can see, basically after I exited, it still has strength, but it's just kind of going nowhere. But yeah, Meta was a decent trade today. I also traded PLTR. This trade I traded later in the day. So I went long at 12:14 and at 27:01, and so 12:14. So this candle right here. I like the strength that I was showing bouncing off VWAP, and I wanted my profit target was pretty minimal. It was the high of the 10:35 candle just for a day trade. So I wanted to see it get closer there, but it ended up retracing and not showing as much strength as I wanted it to. So I ended up scratching the trade. So that's something also I need to kind of look into more. I'm not sure what I should consider a scratch and what I should not consider a scratch, because this trade I made, it was 4 cents, which I don't think, one share, 4 cents is not really, I think that should be considered a scratch, but I guess it would be based off of like trade size and like how much like capital I have in my trade account, so the percent. So I need to look more into that, but for right now, it's at anything between 0 and 10 cents per share is considered a scratch or break even. So yeah, that was a break even trade. And yeah, that was pretty much the trades today. And I'll end this video with going over a little bit of market analysis, since I already gave my picks for today. So just on the D1, I feel like we were able to break out of this compression zone from the high of June 28th at the last all-time high, which was 550.28. And since Wednesday, or since July 2nd, we've just had a super strong uptrend. July 3rd, we made a new all-time high at 551.83, and then today we continued that strength to make, right now it's at an all-time high of 553.98. So I do believe it will continue to grind higher throughout the day. It's been a constant grind up. It's kind of, I feel like 3 steps forward, 1 step back. Like, it's not super strong, but it's pretty strong. And the volume's not good, but the price action is showing is super bullish. So I feel like we will continue this strength today and into next week. I'm not too sure. I feel like there could still be a potential of a dip, but at the same time, this price action can't be ignored, the strength of this. So I would say I'm leaning more bullish now instead of, I'm leaning more. I was bullish. I mean, I was neutral to bullish, um, but now I feel like I'm a little more bullish just based off these price action. Um, I still think there's a dip possible, but I'm less confident in one. Um, I feel like I just felt like maybe potentially it could have happened after hitting another all-time high on the third. It could have sellers could have just overwhelmed buyers, and it could have resulted in a bearish engulfing candle or like a bearish hammer or something like that. But we didn't see that. We saw continued strength. So there is still buyers wanting to get in on SPY. So I still think there's potential for a dip, but I'm not as confident in one. And I'm leaning more bullish than I was the last videos. So intraday, as I mentioned, super strong. Especially after a day after a holiday, July 4th, it's just been super, super strong today. And that's surprising to me. And also just, I feel like shows the strength that buyers have right now. And I feel like will continue into next week and into earnings. So I'm overly pretty bullish, still a little neutral, but mostly bullish, I feel like. So yeah, my picks, as I went over, are Starbucks. So I'll delete CVS, Sweet Green, and BIDU. And I'll add Starbucks. I am not in either of these positions right now. For swings, I'm all in cash, and I want to stay that way until next week. I don't really feel comfortable holding any trades over the weekend. I'm most likely probably done trading today. I have 2 more day trades I could do today, but I don't think I'm gonna probably trade. Just a lot of these stocks have already showed their strength and kind of run up a lot. And I really don't want to short any stocks today just because of the strength of the market. So I most likely will not take any more day trades today, and I definitely will not take any swing trades going into next week. So most likely we'll stay in cash. But that's the video. Thanks for watching.